Welcome back to DellyMaths Concepts. If this is your first time visiting this channel, I'm just saying, why don't you just like the channel right now? So you could like the channel, share, and subscribe, right? Yeah, do that. All right, what we're looking at is preparation for CSEC. All right, so let's get into it. This question is coordinate geometry, and it says the diagram below shows two lines L1 and L2, right? So we're seeing L1 and L2. The equation of line L1 is x plus 2y equal 10. L2 pass through 0, -5, and it's perpendicular to L1. All right, so we have some information there. Let us see what the questions are about, definitely. Question 1 says express the equation of L1 in the form y is equal to mx plus b. So this is the slope-intercept form. So you're going to take L1. Let's look what L1 is. They gave us L1 as x plus 2y, which is equal to 10. And they want us to express it in y equal to mx plus c. So as you can see, the y must be left alone. So we're going to just simply transpose. So we're going to subtract x from both sides, as you could see. So let's rewrite this. We'll have 2y, which is equal to, and I'm going to put this x in front, so negative x, and then plus 10. All right, so I just rearrange it in the format. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So what we're looking at is y is equal to negative x over 2, or you could have just said negative a half x plus 5, right? So we're looking at negative a half x plus 5, and this is the equation of L1 in that format. All right, so that's it for what we have. There we go. All right, so it's a simple, simply transposition. Question 2 says state the gradient of L1. So L1, as you could see, take a look at it. It says y is equal to negative half x plus 5. The gradient is m, and if you mimic the idea, m represents the coefficient of x. So the gradient is negative a half. Remember though, no x is a part of it. It's just the coefficient of the x. So it's negative a half. Let's look at the third question. Hence, determine the equation of line 2. Hence, this means that we have to use the information we got. So we're going to determine the equation of line 2. Whenever you're dealing with the equation, there are a few things that you really need. One, we need the gradient. We need the gradient of L2. We need that. And 2, we need, so this is one thing we need. Secondly, we need the y-intercept, right? The y-intercept. Or there are many, yeah, you could put it in many forms, but let us say we want the y-intercept, right? Also, if I have a point, I'm good too. Also, I could need a point. So, I mean, or if I have a point on that line, I could use it as well. So first, let's get the gradient because the two lines are perpendicular, which means if I have L1's gradient, right, which is this is actually the equation of L1 right here. So the gradient for L1, as you could see, is negative a half. So L2's gradient will be the negative reciprocal. So you reciprocate 2 over 1, it's going to be a positive, right? So it's just positive 2. This is the gradient for L2, right? Now, I have the gradient, and if you go back, you're going to notice that L2, they gave us a point indirectly. The point here is a part of the line. But when I look at the point, I'm seeing the y-intercept too. It's -5. So I'm not going to do much here because we have the point 0, -5. So this point is 0, -5. If my x coordinate is 0, then that y value is my c value, which is my y-intercept. So the equation of L2 is simply y equal to 2x minus 5, right? Because as you could see, it did cross the line at -2. So no big working there because we got C based on the coordinate that we got right here. So we're good. Let's see what the other question is about. All right, so this is a function question. So it says, given that f of x is equal to 1/3 x plus 4, and g of x is 3x over x plus 1, determine the value of f of 9. All right, so f of 9 is a simple idea, one in which having had this f of x to be 1/3 x plus 4, f of 9 simply means that you're gonna input 9 in the f function, and you only can place it where the x is, so you could see what's going on there, right? So what we have to do there is just to work our thing down. For example, 3 into itself is 1, 3 into 9 is 3. So technically what we're looking at here is 3 plus 4, which is 7. The conclusion is that f of 9 is equal to 7. And there it is. F of 9 is equal to 7. It's not a big deal. All right. Now we want to calculate the value of f of g of -3. All right. So what it means then is my explanation for this is we're going to work this. There are many ways, but this is the approach that I'm going to take right now. I'm going to find a value for f of -3. And when I get that value for f of -3, I'm going to place it in the f function. So my first goal is to find f of -3, g of -3 should say. My bad. So basically, let me repeat. I'm going to find g of -3, and then I'm going to put it into f. So let's go for g of x. So g of x, let me write it. It was given as 3x over x plus 1. Let me just make sure. Switch back quickly. 3x over x plus 1. All right, so my intention is to find g of -3. So that -3 will go everywhere where x is. So as you can see, I placed it here for 3x and here for x plus 1. And then we work our way down. This is -9 over -2, which is going to give me 9 over 2, or we might say 4.5. So what I just found was the g of 3, -3. So if I find g of -3, right? So what I'm going to do is to input that in the f function. So now I'm going to put that value, which is 9 over 2, in the f function. So remember the f function, right? So it's going to be 1/3 x, but I'm going to have something for x here. I'm going to have 9 over 2, and then whatever I get, I'm going to add 4 to it, right? Remember the f function. So in this case, whatever we could cancel, we take it. For example, 3 into itself, 1, 3 into 9, that's going to give me 2. So basically, I have 3. Okay, this is 3. I said 2. This is 3 right here. Let me write it. 3. All right, good. So basically what I have is 1.5. Basically, 3 over 2 is 1.5 plus 4. So this is technically 5.5. So then we're saying that f of g of -3 in conclusion is actually 5.5. All right. All right, let's go to the next question. For the other question, it says here that we want to determine the value of x for which g of x is equal to 0. So remember though, take a look. G of x is equal to 3x over x plus 1. So let me read again. I think I said the wrong thing there. We want to determine the value of x for which g of x is equal to 5 over 2. I believe I just said 0. So what it means then, g of x is 5 over 2. Why not just let 5 over 2 be g of x? All right, so I'm going to put 5 over 2 for g of x right here and let that equal to 3x over x plus 1. So as you could see, g of x is 5 over 2. That's what we were told. So now we're going to solve this. And you want to solve this the way in which you learn to solve. There are multiple ways to do it. I'm going to employ a quick cross multiplication. So I'm going to say 2 times 3x and then 5 times x plus 1. So I'm going to put that to the side. So therefore, I'm going to have 5 times x plus 1, which is equal to 2 times 3x, all right? So I'm putting it like that. So basically, I'm going to distribute my 5 inside, right? So I'm going to have 5x plus 5 is equal to 6x. Then I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides because my intention is to have the x alone. So 5 is equal to 1x, which is just x. So there it is. You could see that the solution is that x must be 5. So if x is 5 and you put it here and put it here, your answer would be 5 over 2. All right, let's keep going. We're done? All right. Oh, yeah, we have stats. All right, so here's a statistics question. It says 100 students. All right, 100 students were surveyed on the amount of money they spent um, for their cell phones during a week. The table below shows the results and as well as the midpoint for each class interval. All right, so we're seeing that. Let's see what the question is about. It says using the table, determining the modal class, right? Determining modal class of the amount of money spent, the modal class of the amount of money. Mode, when we speak of mode, it occurs most frequently. So you want to make sure you take a look which one of these frequency is the biggest number, and it is 31. So here it is. We're looking at 31 as the number that's going to help us out. So then it's going to tell us, it's going to help us to identify the class, right? Because they did say the modal class. So the class is going to be where x is less than or equal to 80, but that same x is greater than 70. That's our modal class, the class that occurs most frequently. Let us take a look at the other question. Let's see what else they want. All right. So the B part says calculate an estimate of the mean. So the mean, all right? Amount of money spent, giving your answer to 2 decimal places. So you want to pay attention to those details. So what we want to do is to put together the math. The mean, if you're going to find the mean, the formula for the mean, it says, I'm going to put it at the side here. The formula for the mean says this, that the sum of f of x over the sum of f. This gives us our mean. This gives us the estimate for the mean. So we have f, we're seeing our f, take a look, this is our f, this is our x. So all we're gonna do is just to multiply to get them out. So we're gonna have, so I'm just saying we're gonna multiply these two, all right? So I'm putting the multiplication there and we're gonna create the values. I'm just gonna put the values right there. And then we could just have it. So this is my fx right here, right? So let's just go ahead. So we're looking at 5 times 55, and that's going to give us about 385. Then 11 times 65. 11 times 65 is 715. 31 times 75, and that's about 2,325. 29 times 85, and that's about 2,465. And then 22 times 95, that's about 2,090. And we want to sum that up. So let us add them up. So we want to add up 385 plus 715 plus 2325 plus 2465 plus 292090. All right, so I'm getting 7,980, right? 7,980. My total frequency here, we need to add up this to get this value here. So let's add them up quickly. Let's add them up quickly. 7 plus 11 plus that plus this plus this. This is 100. All right, so we're getting 100 there, right there. All right, so and then we were told here too, 100 students, so it's 100. All right, so let us now just handle our thing. Remember though that the mean, an estimate for the mean is going to equal to the sum of f of fx over the sum of f, and this is 7980 over 100, and we're looking at 79.80 dollars. All right, 79.80. So there it is that we have it, our mean. All right, that's the amount of money spent, really. All right, so Damien reported that the median amount spent is $84. Briefly explain why this report would be correct. All right, so we're going to be assessing the information to see if $84 is the median. Now let us find the position of the median. Let us clear this up. So we're going to find the median. If I'm going to find the median, I'm going to have to zoom in on my total frequency here, which is 100, right? So we want to find a place here where we have the data being split into two equal pieces. So normally to find the position of the median, we're going to add 1 to 100 and then we divide it by 2. So when I do this, I'm going to get 50.5, right? So what's going to happen here is that I'm going to do a cumulative check up and down the table. And as soon as I reach 50.5 or pass it, I'll stop. So it's going to help me to identify the position where the median is. So let us check with me. 7 plus 11, that's 18. So 18 plus 31 is 49. And then the moment I add this, then I would have passed 50. So it's pointing me in this there. So I'm going to do a cumulative check, go up. May change the color of my pen, going up. So 22. So let's go 22 plus 29. I passed it already. So 22 plus 29 is 51. 51 would have passed. That means I'm still here. This is suggesting here. So it is telling us that the median is in that class. Let us take it down here, 80. All right. So the median class, right, is actually, let us take a look. The median class is where x is less than or equal to 90, but greater than 80. So the reference, the mid value for this, right? Let's add these and divide by 2. So 80 plus 90, divide that by 2. The median, the reference, the mid value for that is really 85. I think it was in the table. Let me see. All right, so the mid value is really 85 right here. So we got it in the table. So no, I'm seeing where this is very good, right? Because so I'm getting $85. Then I'm going to confirm this 84. So I'm going to say, of course, Damien report is, yes, Damien report is correct. So you could say that Damien is correct because why it is that Damien could be correct is because Damien's median is in the median class. That's one reason here. It is in the median class because the median class will be between 90 and 80, and this is in that median. And as you could see, the mid value was 85, and he suggested 84. So on that basis, we're seeing where Damien's report is correct because his thing is so close to the mid value. And not only that, it is actually in that median class. All right. So we'll hold that. So that's good enough info. All right. Let's take a look at this. We have the two-way contingency table below gives information on the mode of the transportation, all right, to school for 100 students. All right, so basically we want to complete the table by inserting the missing values. Okay, all right. So we're just gonna do regular computation. What number could this be such that when you add this and this, you get 48? So all you're gonna do is to say, okay, then 48 minus 15 plus 14, right? Which is 29. So 48 minus 29 is going to give you 19. So that missing value here is 19. And we keep working like that. We keep pushing. And this spot here, I could just easily find that because the total is 23. So if I say 23 minus 15, right? So if I have 23 minus 15, I'm going to get 8. So this is 8. Then I'm just going to go a long way down here. So I have walk, cycle, and drive. If I add up everything for the girl column there, 8 plus 18 plus 26. I'm getting about 52 for this, right? And then this one missing spot here, I'm just going to add 18, and this is going to give me about 37. So those are all missing 4 values right there. Easy calculations, adding and subtracting, and we would have completed that table there. So it's an easy 2 marks right there. A student is selected at random. What is the probability that he or she was being driven to? So he said a student. So it's so this is definitely out of 100 already. Out of 100, we want to know the probability that he or she um, was driven to school. So you want to know what's the total for those who were driven to school. So the total for driven, I'll highlight it in green, is 40, right? So it's 40 students were driven out of the 100. So this is 40 out of, let me write this better. We're talking about 40 over 100. Probability is the desired outcome over the total possibility. As a percentage, this is 40% right there. Or this is the same thing as 0.4. Or if we break down 40 over 100 to over 5, you get 250. Any one of these responses are okay for the answer. This, that, or that. You can submit any one of those and you're good to go, right? For the probability. All right, let's keep going. This is like the last question. So it says one girl. Now you could see where already one girl is selected. So this is not over the total amount of students. One girl is selected. So you want to know what's the total amount of girls here. So here's the girls. We have 52 girls. So we're selecting, we're ignoring all the boys. We don't even care. We're selecting from girls. So one girl, one of the girls is selected at random, one of the girls. So my total is from girls now, not one of the students, right? What is the probability that she did not cycle? So if she did not cycle, she's going to either walk or drive. So you want to add up walking and driving, which is 8 plus 26. This is going to give me about 34. So this is 34 out of 50, right? And then you could break this down by dividing by 2. This is 17 over 26, all right? And if you want to work this out as a percentage too, it's fine. You multiply by 100 and we'll put 17 divided by 26 times 100. All right, it's about approximately 65.4 as a percentage, right? And you know as a decimal is 0.654 as a decimal. All these answers are okay. So if you submit this, you're okay. If you submit this, you're okay. If you submit this, you're okay. So be advised that your probability answers could represent as a fraction, as a decimal, also as a percentage. Thank you for watching DellyMaths Concepts, and share this video, like it, and drop a comment.